What is good, my peoples? This is your Cosmic Homegirl, and I am doing a monthly forecast for the month of May 2021. We are almost halfway through this year, you guys. Can you believe that shit? Before we get started, I do have May horoscopes available for you to order for your sign. We have a Mercury Retrograde in the month of May. Joy, I know. We have Jupiter moving into Pisces for a bit. We have an eclipse. It's eclipse season again, so it's pretty major. So if you want to know how all of this is affecting you by your sign in the coming month of May, most def cop you one of these. Okay, so I recommend that you order the one for your rising sign because it'll be the most accurate with timing. But if you only know your sun sign, which is your regular birthday sign, it's still going to be pretty legit too with what's popping. Okay, trust me on that. And you can order your moon sign too, and it'll tell you a lot about what's going on in your personal life. So just go ahead and get you guys one of these May 2021 horoscopes, and I am the one that emails you the link. I will get all the automated stuff that a lot of people have set up pretty soon, okay, once things are running a little more smoothly around this camp. And also 2021 yearly horoscopes. If you want an even more in-depth reading on all of the Mercury retrogrades of the year, even more in depth with Jupiter moving into Pisces for the summer, even more in depth of all the eclipses, the total eclipse cycle for the year, what it means for you, even more details on that, most def order one of these, okay? And these are also pre-recorded as well. This is not personal. This is just for your sign in general. And I have these on discount through April 30th, or May 1st is when they're not going to be on sale anymore. So through April 30th, okay, only for the month of April, these are discounted $5 off. So they're normally $15.99, they're $10.99 up until April 30th. Okay, so definitely get one of these to get even further insight, clarity, details on these major transits that are popping in the month of May and beyond. Okay. All right, so what is going on in total for the month of May? Well, first of all, it is Taurus season popping in full mother effect. And then Gemini season also will be in full effect. And this is because we have the Sun, Venus, and Mercury. They're all close together, which they normally do travel pretty close together in the sky, but sometimes Mercury goes retrograde, Venus goes retrograde, and so on and so forth. So that slows them down from being in a conjunction with the sun so closely. But right now we have what's called a stellium, which is 3 plus 3 or more planets that are in the same sign. We have that popping. All right. So we start the month with that energy. And then once things start progressing into Gemini, they're going to be all together in Gemini. So it's real deal Taurus season and Gemini season in the month of May. Oh my God, there's just so much, you guys. There's so much. So let's just get started. Okay. So planetwatcher.com, it does not show Lilith. Okay, Black Moon Lilith is an asteroid, and she rules raw primal femininity, let's just say that, and also feminine issues, like any issues around females, women, women's what's it called, like women's issues physically, okay, like reproductive issues can be associated with Lilith. Pregnancy is sometimes associated with Lilith. Sometimes losses of pregnancies is associated with her too. Your femininity being violated, abused, or mistreated, unfortunately, is ruled by Lilith. Women taking back their power, okay, and not just being submissive and letting masculine energy dominate over it. And, that's associated with Lilith. Feminine energies just speaking their mind and being very raw, okay, and not being, oh, haha, like meek or anything like that. Nah, Venus is a little more associated with women being like traditionally feminine, just pleasant and not wanting to rock the boat and very soft. Lilith is the opposite. Okay, because if you research Black Moon Lilith, yes, but also, the character in history and in some religious texts that have the story of Lilith. If you research that version of Lilith, it goes along with what the asteroid Black Moon Lilith represents. So yeah, she's not shown here on Astro, or what is this shit? Planet Watcher. Okay, she's not on here. Whatevs. But I can tell you one thing. We start off the month with Lilith. She is at 21 degrees of Taurus, and Venus is in a conjunction with her. Dun dun dun. What does that mean? So it is right on May 1st, that this conjunction is sharp and in full effect. And even the days prior to that, we're still building up to that transit. And even the days following after May 1st, for just a little bit, we still have Venus and Lilith together. Okay, like in close proximity to one another. But what does this like sharp conjunction mean on May 1st? Well, so it may go, to be subtle and unnoticed for a lot of people. But if you are observant, you can look around you, whether that's look around you at the people that are in front of you, especially if they are feminine beings, okay? Or you can look around online and see what's going on that day. What are the main topics of discussion? How are women acting? What are they posting? You will probably see a lot more, even though everybody sees women just like showing their ass and showing everything, just scantily clad. I hate that term. It's like a total old people term. But not really as clothed, not fully clothed, okay, just kind of showing a little something. Women are always flexing like that on social media, but you're gonna see more of a prominence of it, more than likely, more of an abundance of it, more of a presence, or more posts about I am woman, hear me roar, I am free to show my body, fuck you if you don't like it, more posts like that, because it's Venus rules feminine and women, and Lilith does too, okay? It's kind of like Lilith and Eve, in the old religious texts and stories. They're coming together, they're partnering up. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like Lilith has an influence, and she's telling Eve like, yo, fuck Adam. Like, he doesn't control you. Okay. So, women might have this attitude like, yeah, nobody controls me. I'm a queen. I'm this, I'm that. You might see more of an attitude, or if you are feminine yourself, you will experience having more of that attitude. It's raw sexuality, primal femininity, okay? So you might see women and feminines, speak more on issues surrounding maybe their physical bodies, whether that's like if they've been abused, violated, if they have ever had issues with pregnancies, loss of children or pregnancies or anything like that. You may see more of that expressed, okay? But see, in the days previous, while Mercury is making an exact conjunction with Lilith, which I do cover in the weekly forecast, that includes May 1st, that's when you might see more texts, okay? Like more women talking about this stuff, okay? Maybe some men or masculine people might too, because they're under the influence of Lilith. But it can just come out more with Venus, the Venus conjunction, as like expression through how women look, how they're expressing themselves with how they dress, how they're doing their makeup, their hair, whatever, You might see more like risque photos, like just more revealing, maybe wearing more black or dark colors, you know, with their makeup, their clothes, whatever. So yeah, that's definitely popping on May 1st, okay? Now we do have on the 3rd, we have a few things popping. Some aspects which I'll cover more in the weeklies. We have some squares to Saturn, we have some squares to Jupiter. You know, because they're in Aquarius, and Aquarius and Taurus square each other on the zodiac wheel, which means they don't really always get along. It's like they have some things in common. They're like family, you know, they're in the same, what's it called, the modality. Okay, they're in the same modality. So they're like family. You know how there's family members that you have things in common with, like you're blood related, you got to be in the same household together, but maybe there's like some complete differences that you guys have and you always butt heads on. Yeah, that's what the signs, when they're in the same modality, that's what they're like. So it's like Taurus and Aquarius, they're both fixed, they're both stubborn about certain things, but you know, so they have that in common. But shit, like Aquarius energy thrives on change and looking ahead into the future and all this stuff, but Taurus likes to stay in the same comfortable spot. You know what I'm saying? And Aquarius energy gets so annoyed with that. So that's why there's tension between planets when they are in these two signs. So that's popping, you know, starting the beginning of the month too. We come into the month with this tension between the Sun and Saturn, and Mercury and Jupiter, you know, and then eventually Venus and Jupiter. So what that means is it's like stop and go, right? Saturn is stop and Jupiter is go. Go for it. Just jump, just fly. And Saturn's like stop, no, and don't. Saturn is like hold up, slow your roll. Okay, hold your horses. And ask you a bunch of questions and makes you go through a checklist, and you know, that's what Saturn does. And Jupiter is like, what? Fuck that list. Wee! You know, so there's a lot of stop and go energy and frustration in the air, you know, with should I jump and go after things, or should I wait it out, and, you know, or should I jump towards something new and exciting because, you know, Uranus is in the mix, or should I stay with my tried and true, trusted, old faithful of whatever it is, you know, or whoever it is. So that energy is definitely in effect when we start the month. We have Mercury entering Gemini on May 3rd. Okay. So we have Mercury entering Gemini on this day. And Mercury is going to be in Gemini for a few months because he's going to go retrograde. Okay, so it looks like in the evening, May 3rd. It could be May 4th if you're in another part of the world other than the US. So Mercury goes into Gemini. Mercury's at home in the sign of Gemini. Mercury rules Gemini. He also rules Virgo. So when he's in those signs, he performs his best. However, Mercury going retrograde in one of the signs he rules, OMG. Just prepare for the ride, you guys. Like... Seriously. And you know, Mercury retrograde happens 3 times a year, every single year. So it's kind of annoying when people who are not true followers of astrology, they say, oh, the retrograde. Like, first of all, Mercury is not the only planet that goes retrograde. Okay. Second of all, Mercury retrograde doesn't just happen randomly out of the fucking blue, you know, and just, oh, I don't know when the retrograde is over. Oh, I think the retrograde just popped up. No, this is all scheduled. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do we know about this ahead of time? It's all scheduled. So anyway, yes, this is one of 3 Mercury retrogrades of this year. They're all in air signs this year. So we have Mercury retrograde in Gemini. But, you know, for a couple weeks, he's normal. In Gemini doing his thing, which means he brings more of a true mercurial vibe to us, meaning our minds are going to be so active, like extra, and we will be extra chatty and talkative and wanting to keep things light and friendly and move on to the next topic very quickly, We will not want to spend as much time talking about deep, meaningful, profound topics and subjects. You know, when Mercury was in Taurus, and especially making aspects to Pluto, because Pluto likes to dive deep, and then the earth signs, they're slow and steady. You know what I'm saying? They can stay on the same topic for a long time and be very thorough with it. But Mercury in Gemini isn't trying to hear any of that shit. He's not trying to participate in those long, deep conversations. He wants to keep things lighthearted, quick moving. He wants to share jokes, share memes, and then bounce away. You know what I'm saying? So that's more of the attitude and how we'll be speaking and thinking with Mercury and Gemini. And it is, and I hear Geminis tell me themselves that yes, their brains are like having 50 tabs open at once that they're trying to toggle back and forth between and navigate through. So whether you're a Gemini or not, you will be having more of that vibe, you know, at least a little bit, and just notice the people around you and their eyes darting around the room, and they can't they have like zero fucking attention span, you know. So that's kind of how we will all be. So Mercury goes into Gemini on May 3rd, right? He's gonna be here until July 11th. Oh my God, we have 2 months of this mess. Yeah, because Mercury's gonna go retrograde on the 29th of May through June 22nd. So for a whole month, from the end of May to the end of June, we have Mercury retrograde. I say count the shadow period as being starting around May 15th. And here's why. You know, I have to be a nerd. I have to teach you guys a little lesson and show you why. Because Mercury goes retrograde at, I think it's 24 degrees of Gemini, right? 24 degrees of Gemini is Mercury retrograde, okay? 24 degrees of Gemini. So when Mercury moves and goes direct, he's going to go direct at, where's he go direct at? He goes direct at 16 degrees of Gemini when he goes direct in June. So you count like 16 degrees of Gemini as starting the shadow period, because between 16 and 24 degrees is that range to where Mercury's going to go back and forth. Okay, he's going to go over this area, this, you know, these degrees a couple of times. So the normalcy, if you want to call it that, of Mercury and Gemini is going to be anything before 16 degrees of Gemini. So that's basically May 3rd through May 15th. And then from May 15th on, up until he surpasses 24 degrees again, which is going to be July 9th. After July 9th, Mercury will be normal and out of shadow period. So as with every Mercury retrograde, you know, I have to be a steady Taurus, Mercury and Taurus, and be redundant at times and tell people, do not jump for joy, okay, when Mercury goes direct right away, June 22nd. And do not think that just because Mercury goes retrograde on May 29th, that before that, there's not going to be any fuckery, okay? Because there will be from around the 15th of May, you know, and up until July, the beginning of July. All right. So that period starting with May 15th is going to be when everybody needs to pay more attention to stuff that's Mercury ruled. Make sure that before we get to May 15th, you are double checking everything that you are writing, texting, messaging, whatever. You back up all of your data and information, back up your phones, back up your devices that you use to communicate and store data, to transmit data. Make sure that you're getting a tune-up on your car. Make sure you check your tires on your car, your vehicle, even your bicycle shit. Like, if that's what you do is ride a bike every day, hey, there's no judgment here. However you get around, make sure you double check that mechanical device before May 15th. All right. And it is not recommended that from May 15th until around, July 9th or so, that you sign any new contracts or, you know, go and get new technology, like purchase anything like a smartphone, a smartwatch, even a new car is it's probably a shitty idea to get one during a Mercury shadow period and or retrograde, because then every Mercury retro, what I've experienced personally and I have seen other people around me go through too, is then every Mercury retro you're like guaranteed to have some issues. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, do not stop your life. Okay, live your life, boo boo. Do what you have to do. If you have to purchase any of those things around, during this period, do it. But make sure you double check over everything. Make sure you have warranties. Make sure that you're backed up and secure just in case anything goes wrong. Don't just fly and be like, wee, and like think everything like shit's just all good. So, enough of my little Mercury retrograde lesson. The point is, Mercury goes into Gemini May 3rd, goes into shadow period May 15th, goes retro May 29th. All right, so make sure you guys write all these dates down. Okay, even though I'll be keeping you guys updated every week and as much as I can on my IG and all that stuff. Okay, so we have Venus entering Gemini on May 8th, and she will be kicking it there. She'll be bouncing around and having a good time, being a little social butterfly and all that in Gemini from May 8th until June 2nd. So, Venus, ruler of love, beauty, femininity, money, our material world, everything that you purchase. Do you buy clothes? Do you buy food? Do you buy drinks? Do you step out into nature and feel the breeze on your face? Do you like perfume or body sprays or cologne or flowers? Venus, she rules all of that. Do you like money? Venus rules all that. So when she's in Gemini, she also rules fashion too. Like fashion, design, aesthetics, all of that. Whether that's of you or your surroundings. So when Venus is in Gemini, all of those things have a Gemini influence. Meaning they're a lot more youthful, a lot more bouncy, a lot more loving variety rather than staying in the same old spot doing the same old things. Like when she was in Taurus, it's like Taurus energy knows what it wants and sticks with that. Okay, it's like, I've already tried this and tried that, I didn't like it, I have my trusted go-to, and that's what I'm staying with. Okay, that's Taurus energy. But when she steps into Gemini, it's like she's like, hey, what is new? What's new over there? What's new over there? What's new with this person and that person? And she's constantly looking for stimulation by newness. Okay, that's what she likes. So, with that being said, Venus is bouncing through Gemini from May 8th until June 2nd. So pretty much like the whole month of May, after the first week. So in matters of love, yes, people are a little harder to catch and pin down, and people may, you may talk to them, you may message them, since that's what everybody does nowadays. You may send them a message like, hey, what's up? And then they'll be like in the conversation with you, texting you back for like 2.5 seconds, and then they bounce off and disappear. Because they're like, oh, something else caught my attention over there, and then they might get back to you like way later. It's super mercurial energy, which I can relate to. I have the Sun and Mercury together, and Mercury and Venus together. You know what I'm saying? So that mercurial vibe, I'm like, oh my God, I'm describing my fucking self almost, I do tend to do that. But in matters of love and stuff, yeah, people may be just wanting to play the game of dating and just date around, like one of my homegirls always says, try on different people. You might want to try this and try that. And it's curiosity, Venus and Gemini. Besides dating and stuff and love and all of that, Venus also rules like what you enjoy doing in your time, your free time, especially. Venus and Gemini loves to play games, like any type of game, old school stuff like board games, video games, mind games, card games. Even now they have like newer card games that are like trivias and all this like fun stuff, Venus and Gemini loves that. She loves a challenge of the mind. And Venus and Gemini, as far as like style, is more bright colors, like bright yellow, bright green. I think of those colors when I think of Gemini. And I know some Geminis be like, I don't like any of those colors and I'm a Gemini. Well, I'm talking about the general energy of the sign itself, the energy itself of Gemini. That's the vibration of it. Okay. You may have other placements in your chart that make you, as a Gemini sun person, not like yellow or green and think that shit is ugly AF. Okay. Like, I'm not wearing the colors of puke. Oh my God. But Venus in Gemini herself, that's her aura. That's her vibe. It's bright yellow, bright green. Okay. It's freshness, newness. You know what I'm saying? Like, think of plants when they grow and when they bloom. Plants are generally normally green, right? Bright green colors. Green means fresh new growth of something. Excuse me, of something. Oh, too much Taurus in the air. Messing with my throat and my voice. Pardon me, you guys. But yes, bright green, it means fresh and new, right? Fresh, new, exciting. And that's what Venus in Gemini likes. She's always curious, curious about the next thing, the new thing, the shiny thing over there that makes her run off from the thing that she was already, dealing with or looking at. So yeah, that's the vibe this month. Okay. And yeah, Gemini rules like the arms and the hands. So Venus and Gemini can make people more interested in jewelry and make the jewelry industry pop right now. Okay. I've been really diving more into astrology for business and what industries will pop during certain times of the year, during certain transits. And let me tell you, yes, like Taurus season, it's all about Bath and Body Works. It's all about Lush, the store Lush. It's all about, the self-care videos. Like, all that stuff totally pops more during Taurus season. Mukbangs, eating videos, okay, if you don't know what a mukbang is. Or mukbang. Oh my God, humanity. Humans are so funny. Mukbangs, eating videos, eating shows, cooking videos, cooking shows. Like, let me show you this recipe. That's all popping during Taurus season. During Uranus and Taurus in general, you guys, like, ever since 2018, all that shit really started to, like, just be super popular, right? And then when all the other planets are in Taurus and they're ganged up around Uranus, they're bringing it even more to the forefront. So that's why in the month of April, the month of May, you may have noticed a spike if you follow trends like that, and are observant like that, of those types of videos and those industries, like, really popping. Okay. But once we get to Gemini, it's more about things to do with the mind, very quick articles or, to read. It's about gossip. Okay. The gossip of it all is Gemini season. And when I do that little accent, you guys, it's a nod towards Wendy Williams, Miss Wendy Williams, who I don't always agree with all of her antics and the things she talks about, but hey, she's an OG, man. Like, she's an OG in the world of talking. Okay. And I love her accent. I love New York accents. I love all accents, actually. If you guys hear me pop off and do accents, I don't want anybody to be judgy and be like, oh my God, that means you hate that group. No, it means I love accents. Anything other than the regular old American accent, I fucking love, okay? It's music to my ears. But anyway, Wendy and her little accent and her gossiping, she has, I think it's Venus and Mars in Gemini. I know she has 2 planets in Gemini. I gotta look up her chart again. I'm pretty sure it's Venus and Mars. She has in Gemini. That's where her love of gossip and talk comes from. So that's because Gemini loves gossip. They do. Like, just period, point blank. And the energy of Gemini itself loves it. Loves to look around. Gemini rules neighbors. It's the 3rd sign, It's the 3rd sign in the 3rd house. If you know what the houses are, rule neighbors, your neighborhood, the people that are in your immediate vicinity of where you are and where you live and what they're doing, what they're up to, and knowing everybody's names and all their business and all the tea, that's all third house, and that's all Gemini, the third sign. So when we have like an abundance of Gemini energy, yes, that's what we're going to get. A lot more gossiping, a lot more people. Did you hear about this? Did you see the news? Did you read this article? Did you read this post? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's totally the vibe. I know that our world could be like that anyway, especially in the US, with the US having Gemini energy in its chart, which is another, another topic for another day. That we love the gossip. We love the tea. So that is super like present with Gemini energy. Okay. Is just knowing what's going on. So Venus in Gemini is going to bring out all the feminines. It doesn't matter what you got down there, okay, on your physical body. Feminine energy is going to be, oh my God, did you watch The Real Housewives of blah, 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 blah? Or did you see this? Did you read that? Did you hear what so-and-so said? Oh my God. And then, they could be like that with their regular schmegular people around them, even like your coworkers. Oh my God, did you see what she was wearing? Ugh, I could never. And then when she comes up, hey, how you doing, girl? Oh my God, I love what you're wearing. That dress is just so fire. Like, where did you get it? We have to be twins. Yeah, that's the Gemini vibe. Whether you fuck with it or not, that's the vibe, okay? So anyway, Venus in Gemini, Mercury in Gemini, fun, bouncy, youthful energy, a break, a breath of fresh air from more heavier, plodding along, slower Taurus energy for a lot of people. All right. So anyway, let's move along. We have a new moon in Taurus on May 11th. So May 11th, a new moon in Taurus. This is going to be an interesting new moon, and I will go more in depth and detail. Once we get to the weeklies. But just, some insight into this new moon and what it's going to bring to us. Well, of course, check your monthly horoscope. Okay, wink, wink. If you want to know what it's going to do for you, where it's going to land in your chart, aka your life. Okay, but this new moon is going to be at 21 degrees of Taurus, right? So also in the mix of this new moon is going to be a sextile, which is, a light and friendly aspect, a little wink from Neptune, and also a trine aspect to Pluto in Capricorn. A little friendly, hey, how you doing, from Pluto. It also has a wide square to Jupiter, from Jupiter, which is like, hey, I want to argue about something real quick, So it's got all these aspects, and also it'll be in a conjunction with Lilith. As I said, she is not pictured here. I don't know why Planet Watcher is hating on Miss Black Moon Lilith, but she's present in the mix with this new moon. OMG, what does all this math add up to? First of all, just in general, new moon in Taurus can mean a new moon, a new beginning with something to do with money, something to do with how you value things in life, your material world. You could make a new big purchase with the new moon in Taurus. You can realize something about your budgeting, your finances, how much money you're earning at your job, your own self-worth and self-value. Like, hey, are people valuing me for what I do? What have you done for me lately? Janet Jackson is a Taurus, and I know some of you listening might be too young to know what the fuck song I'm talking about, but Janet Jackson's song, What Have You Done For Me Lately? That could be a Taurus jam, you know what I mean? Like a little Taurus energy anthem, of taking a look at your value and your worth based on like how a person treats you. Like, what have you done for me? Like, I do all this shit for you. But like, what's the deal with you? Giving me an equal exchange. Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus, whether she's in Libra or Taurus, she is about balance and harmony. So people could be really taking a look at, look what all I've done for you. What have you done for me lately? Mars is in Cancer the whole month of May, and Cancer energy too likes to be like, yeah, look what I did for you, and what do you do for me? And they cry about it more. Taurus is more like stomping their hooves in the fucking dirt, like, and they get a little mad face, and them horns really just sharpen like that out of the blue. Like, yo, don't even come near me with your low effort, no effort bullshit. Okay, like I put in the work. I'm an earth sign. We plod through thoroughly. Okay, and that's what I've done for you. But come on, where's your end of the deal? Where's the fairness? Where's the Venusian balance? So people can look at things like that in general. And maybe people might just feel like going shopping a little extra that day. Who knows? When I give the transits, I give mostly like the biggest thing that's possible that can happen. But a lot of this shit could be like so subtle that it can go unnoticed. It could just be like, oh, I just have cravings for ice cream more than usual today. And then boop, you move on with your life. But yeah, if you're really observant, usually the lunar events do bring something significant to you. The aspect to Neptune, it brings a little dash of fairy dust, a little more intuition, a little more emotion into things. The square from Jupiter, it's a wide square, but I use 8 degrees, and this is within that range. So that can mean like having trouble seeing the limitations with things, whether you see things as too limiting or you don't see the limits enough with things. So yeah, maybe there can be some lesson about finances and overspending, or maybe you're a little too stingy and penny pinching a little too much and you don't let yourself live. The aspect to Pluto, it brings more depth to this full moon. DEPTH. Okay, I know Pluto rules DEATH as well, but we're not talking about that here. Okay, so Pluto in the mix with this new moon can just bring some sort of transformation and really diving deep within your mind about whatever's coming up. All right, like I said, get a monthly horoscope, you'll know what all this means. Okay, so this is on May 11th. Then we move to May 13th, and this is when we have Jupiter move into Pisces. Oh my God, where's he at? Okay. Yeah, son. Yeah, Jupiter and Pisces. Oh my God. Personally, I'm so excited for Jupiter and Pisces. Oh my God, I'm a Pisces moon. Jupiter is my 5th house. Yo, I'm looking forward to the excitement of it all and doing creative and fun things. Oh my God. Fellow Pisceans, you guys are in for a little treat, even though he's just dipping his toe in for a hot second. Part of this summer is going to be a dope ass summer for Piscean people. And then we have, Jupiter blessing us next year. Most of 2022. Oh my God, it's going to be so dope. But anyway, so Jupiter steps into Pisces for just a little bit, you guys. And Pisces is co-ruled by Jupiter, meaning before they discovered Neptune, they stuck Pisces as being ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is a planet of spirituality and of seeing life beyond the regular schmegular degular. Okay, so Pisces energy definitely does that. But I would say Neptune is definitely the stronger ruler, in my opinion, because the fogginess of it all, like, the Neptunian fog is just, ooh, yeah. Anyway, I can get into that another time. But Jupiter is going to step into Pisces and be here only through July 28th. So for 2.5 months, we have Jupiter in Pisces. So this can bring, Jupiter blows up topics of the sign that it rules, or I'm sorry, of the sign that it's in. Okay, so it'll bring more emphasis on Piscean themes for a couple of months. Jupiter is a ruler of things becoming popular as well. We can see all the trends of things with actually all the outer planets. They all bring popularity of things to the masses. But Jupiter will definitely bring, while it's in Pisces, watch, there's going to be even more of a spike in people getting into astrology and tarot and all the mysticism of it all, okay? All the spiritual things. People will start talking about religion a little bit more. And there could be some issues. Jupiter can blow up issues. So if there's any issues surrounding anything Pisces ruled, we're going to hear more about them, like animals, animal rights. And this is where people might talk about veganism and stuff like that, or not using animal skins and furs and stuff in your fashion, or stuff like that. Okay, Jupiter in Pisces. Pisces rules having a love of animals, specifically, but a love for all living beings on earth and just leaving them be, kumbaya. That's Jupiter in Pisces all day. So yeah, Jupiter in Pisces. Pisces rules music, movies, art, all the fucking filters that we all use on our pictures and videos and applications that can turn us into other people and make us live out our fantasies and stuff. All of that is ruled by Pisces. So we will see more things come to light, more popularity with things like that, and more things like that discussed. Issues around the aforementioned things will be more prominent in conversations too, okay? And things that you see and view online. But what I am looking forward to with Jupiter and Pisces for the collective is, of course, the spike in popularity with astrology and tarot and numerology and all that stuff. Yes, I look forward to it, but in a way I don't, just because there's a lot of motherfuckers that are stupid and just turn it into some trend. They take little bits and pieces and run with it, and they think they know things and they really don't. And they make like memes or little videos or little TikToks or whatever, and it's like, dude, you're just taking barely a little bit of information. You didn't dive deep, you didn't do a lot of reading, a lot of studying, a lot, you know what I'm saying? You didn't really apply yourself to this topic enough to know it in depth, to know what the fuck you're talking about. And now you're just spreading things. Jupiter blows things up, which can make things spread. So I am afraid of people spreading misinformation when it comes to, the occult and spirituality and stuff. But it becoming more of a topic of conversation openly, to where we're not all looked at it as just some fucking weirdos, Oh my God, that's fake. You believe in that? That's becoming less and less. And Jupiter in Pisces is going to definitely help to lessen that even more. And even like big corporations, you look at like their posts on social media, and a lot of them now include astrology. They'll have astrologers, I hope real astrologers. Some of them do, I can tell, because some of the shit is legit. They'll have astrologers come through and give a horoscope about whatever their product is, or just talk about things. Like I saw an e-news clip yesterday where somebody on the red carpet was asking a celeb, what's your sign? And they were just going into this big old discussion about their sun signs. And it was like a few seconds of a clip, but it's like a few years back, if E! News would have posted that, there would have been a hella comments underneath with people saying, oh my God, that's so fake. You believe in that fairy tale bullshit. Right? But now it's like, oh my God, Leo gang. Oh, I'm this moon and this rising. You see what I'm saying? Jupiter in Pisces is going to bring that to our world, and it's going to be a good thing for those of us, like those of you guys listening who are obviously open to astrology, and those of us who are astrology enthusiasts and teachers and all that stuff. It's going to help us too, to be able to just talk freely and not like like we're talking in some secret code in private, hoping that nobody thinks we're just some damn weirdo. So anyway, I hope that makes sense, you guys. It's my Mercury return. As I'm recording this, Mercury is on all of my Taurus shit, and I'm just like la 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 la. So yeah, Jupiter in Pisces, woohoo! But he will only be here from May 13th until July 28th. So 2.5 months. He's gonna be retrograde during that time too. But yeah, I'll talk about the retrograde when we get there in June or July. Okay. So we have on the 20th, the sun moving in Gemini. joining the big ass Gemini party in the sky, right? Is it the yeah, it's the 20th, because look at that, 29 degrees. Okay, so we have the sun moving into Gemini on the 20th of May, and he will be hanging out here, buzzing around, gossiping with the rest of the Gemini crew until June 20th. So exactly 30 days. Sun in Gemini, just pretty much everything that I've already mentioned about Gemini, you guys. The sun is going to bring more of that energy to our lives, to our daily lives. More curiosity, less of an attention span, more reading of things, but you only read like the first two sentences and then you get bored and skip off and do something else, of course. And also more variety that you're going to be craving in your life. Okay. And yes, more youthfulness, more memes being shared, more laughs. I'm looking forward to that, honestly. So the sun is going to be in Gemini. Now, you guys are going to hear everybody say Gemini season has begun on May 20th, but you know how we do around here. We know that Mercury and Venus have been already having a little Gemini party in the sky since the beginning of May. Okay, so just count almost all of May as Gemini season. There's still Taurus in the mix, but Geminis, you guys are still going to have your time too. Okay, don't listen to the bullshit. Okay, oh, it's not Gemini season until May 20th. Until then, no ma'am, no sir. Especially Venus being in your sign, you're going to be your best motherfucking selves. All right, Geminis? So don't listen to the hype, okay? Yes, so, but the sun will join the Gemini party May 20th, okay, through June 20th. Now, here's a really big event. So, oops, sorry. No, month. Damn it. Or minute. How the hell how did that happen? Month or, oh my God. All this Mercury and Uranus crap is really causing glitches and errors and typos in technology and communication. Sorry, guys. Anyway, what was I trying to do? I was trying to go to day. Okay, there we go. So we have a few big events this month, you guys. I would say the biggest events are Mercury Retrograde, Jupiter moving into Pisces, and then the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius and Gemini that's happening on May 26th. Okay, so I think it's going to be like super early because it's at, I think, 5 degrees. Yeah, it's going to be at 5 degrees. Okay, so and this is, Pacific time in the US, of course. Check your time zone and all that good shit. Okay, so we have a lunar eclipse happening in the sign of Gemini and Sagittarius. We say Sag because the lunar part, the moon, is in Sagittarius and the solar part is in Gemini. And then it's conjoined to the North Node and, sadly not pictured here, planetwatcher.com, why you hating, the South Node. So the nodes of the moon actually dictate where the eclipses are going to be for an 18-month or so period. And when the sun and moon are actually in close proximity to the nodes during an eclipse, it's even more super potent, powerful, and world rocking. Okay, it's like an earthquake in your world. It's like a little tower moment, as we call it, those of us who are followers and who practice tarot. Okay, we know what the tower card means. Lightning strikes and motherfuckers are flying everywhere. Okay, like, oh, I wasn't expecting this. So that's what's going on with this eclipse, you guys. So what's aspecting and influencing this eclipse is Jupiter, mostly. All right, so we have the sun and moon, and they are making a square to Jupiter. And this is all mutable energy, so expect the unexpected, like for real. Okay, last month in April, we had a full moon in Scorpio and Taurus, and it was conjoined to Uranus. And so that was still the unexpected, world rocking, even though it wasn't an eclipse. It still could have caused some tower moments for people because Uranus, he rules lightning and sudden things happening and surprises. And it was in fixed energy, which was like you're just standing there in the same spot forever, and then here comes this lightning striking you and, just blowing you away into some other fucking dimension or into another mind state or lifestyle or something, right? So it wasn't an eclipse, but it was pretty powerful though. Okay. And then here we have this eclipse in mutable energy. Mutable energy is changeable, and like it can move and switch up on you, and you don't even know, you won't even expect it, and it could be out of the blue. So this is going to produce a similar effect to the last month's full moon, but probably like it's going to go twice as hard though. So, the square to Jupiter is on the negative side when there's like a square or like a harsh aspect to it. It could be about doing too much, doing the absolute most. Mutable signs love to do the most. Okay, they just go to extremes with shit. So yeah, this could be an extremely life-changing eclipse, especially if you are one of the mutable signs in the first like 10 degrees or so. If you are Virgo, Sag, Pisces, or Gemini, anything, and this eclipse touches it, I'm not trying to scare you or fearmonger, but I'm just saying it could be very life-changing, world-rocking, unexpected things pop in, okay? And of course, once again, you want to know where this lands in your chart, order a monthly horoscope. I'm going to go over this eclipse and just talk about it a little bit and where all this stuff lands in your chart. And the yearlies, I really go in on the eclipse cycles too. Okay, I go in depth and detail. So definitely check those out. But just in general, the mutable signs are tricky and very changeable, quick to change. So whatever happens, just in general, this could be something to do with truth. This could be something to do with truth, especially truth that's put out there to the masses. Because Jupiter is about the truth. Jupiter rules Sagittarius, which is about truth and making sure that everybody knows what's up, Gemini is not so much about truth, but it's about information being distributed and just having little talks about things. Like it's words, it's, just information that you read and it's communication in general. Okay. And Sagittarius is really about knowledge, like diving deep with knowledge, and Jupiter rules it, and it's about that. But there's a square here, and Pisces could put a fog, a mask over things, a filter over things, and could be deceptive when there's a negative like a tense energy that's hitting it. So there could be things about truth and lies and what's real and what's not that's brought up with this eclipse. Okay. All right. And then lastly, we get to Mercury retrograde. I already went over it. I already gave you guys little Mercury retrograde lectures like I do every single time. Don't believe the hype when Mercury goes direct and think that everything is all G right away. Don't think that May 29th is the only day that some bullshit can happen when it comes to things that Mercury rules. Start with around the 15th. And, from the 15th to the 29th, if there's some BS that goes down with your car, with your phone, with communication, and if somebody like me or another follower or teacher of astrology says, well, it's because of Mercury retrograde, Mercury in shadow. But Mercury doesn't go retrograde till the 29th. Who gives a flying fuck, man? The shadow period counts, okay? Just don't like sleep on the shadow period. But the 29th is when it really goes into full effect, when it really starts giving the image in the sky that it's going backwards or whatever, okay? And once again, that is until June 22nd. And then it's out of its shadow period around July 9th. After July 9th, we will be in the clear when it comes to Mercury. Okay? All right. So that's it, you guys. That's the month of May. Thank you so much for listening to all of my ramblings. And thank you guys for supporting me with ordering horoscopes and stuff like that. Like, I really, really appreciate you guys enjoying me talking for even longer on these things and giving a lot of information. I hope it's helpful to you guys. Don't forget to follow me on IG, where I post more horoscope stuff and astrology memes and things like that. And I will see you guys in the weekly videos. All right, take care. Peace.